Welcome to episode 3. This is a weekly Zoom call where we catch up with wedding and event professionals about what's happening in our industry. And definitely stay for the last 5 minutes of post-show real talk and blooper reel. Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of Fireside Chats. If you three want to introduce yourselves and tell us what you do and a little bit about your business.
Hi, I'm Brittany Eagans. My business is Be Wed, and I am a wedding and event planner, coordinator, and designer.
Hi, everybody. I'm Becky Souflis. I am the director of catering with Simply Gourmet Caterers. We specialize in strictly off-premise catering and have been in business for over 25 years here in Sarasota.
Hi, everyone. I'm Grace Felice of A Wedding with Grace, and I design and officiate custom wedding ceremonies.
Awesome. So, Brittany, tell me about what's been going on in terms of booking clients and moving forward with your events, rescheduling, everything you've been doing for the last 6 weeks or so.
I mean, the majority of all of the rescheduling that I had took place within the first 2 to 3 weeks of everything going on when things were closing down. All of my spring 2020 clients, which would be considered up to the summer point of 2020, decided to postpone to either fall 2020 or spring 2021. So once we got those postponed successfully, it was kind of a little bit of a breather for everybody. And now it's just been working on all of the other weddings that are upcoming for those seasons and new bookings, which have actually been coming in, which I've been very thankful for. So.
And so you've had a bunch of new bookings throughout this time, correct?
A bunch, I wouldn't say like a crazy amount. It would bookings for weddings, I feel like, and the other two, I'm sure can attest to this too, come in like random waves. So I had a random wave, like literally right smack in the middle of everything in April. And so it kind of highs and lows. And I had a nice little stint of booking like through the middle of this pandemic. And then now it's evened off a little bit, but still getting bookings nonetheless. So it's been good.
Do you feel like it's on track with a normal year, or you think it's still less?
I mean, it might be ever so slightly less, but to be honest, it hasn't been so much to the point where it's made a major impact for my business personally.
All right. And Becky, what's been going on with Simply Gourmet throughout this time?
So our last event was with Brittany on March the 12th. We had a wedding at Palmetto Bed and Breakfast. And up to that point, March is usually our biggest month. We generate, sometimes 3 months worth of amount of business in the month of March than we do anywhere else. So it was kind of, on a day-to-day basis, we were looking at CDC, we were looking at the guidelines, because as a caterer, we have to adhere to what they're putting out there. So even though clients were like, well, maybe we want to still have our wedding, et cetera, we're like, well, we have to kind of wait and see. So it was kind of a wait and see, and we were dealing with each event on an individual basis. But thankfully, every single event that we had on the books, both corporate, because we do a lot of corporate, we do a lot of house parties, private events, and weddings, they've all postponed except for two. Two we had to just rebook for the following year, because with a lot of corporate or fundraising events, sometimes they have a very full calendar of when they're doing things. So we've just postponed them till the following year. So we've been just doing a lot of research and development right now. Thankfully, my partner, Jamie, the owner, and I were working from home. So we're just generating a lot of things for Instagram, Facebook, little videos with chefs and stuff. You might see us on there. But thankfully, most of our business that we did have to move has rebooked and not canceled. So we're actually seeing a very full, almost fully booked October, November, December, and even into 2021.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Grace, how have things been going with you for bookings and rescheduling and everything?
Well, rescheduling with what I do, I had quite a few weddings to reschedule. I had probably about 25. The last larger wedding that I did was actually with Brittany and Becky at Palmetto B&B, but I have had a couple since then, very small scale. A few of my couples who were scheduled for big weddings in March or April or May or even June have decided to get married on their original date with just parents present, and then reschedule to a later date. And most of them have already rescheduled. And there were a couple couples that I already officiated their weddings, but I'll be doing the second ceremony in November, or in one case, next May. So it's been a little crazy trying to find dates that work for all of the vendors so that we can all be with this couple on their new date. But we're getting through. I've only had maybe one or two cancellations. Most of them, fortunately, have been able to postpone, or some of them just decided altogether, you know what, we just want to be married. So we'll think about having another celebration down the road. But for now, it just be the three of us. So, we've all come armed with face masks and, hand sanitizer and alcohol, and been keeping our social distancing. But the point is, they're married, they're happy, and that's what's important.
And you did one in your living room, correct?
I did, and the crazy dog woman that I am, I had my couple bring their dogs with them. So it was a little bit of a rambunctious elopement because the dogs were big and curious. So, but it was fun. We had it in the living room. We were almost in two rooms. I was in one room and they were kind of across the hall. One of us was in the living room, one of us was in the dining room, but it worked out well. And the dogs were in between us, running all around and jumping on the furniture. But that's them. So it was, they said it was perfect for them. And we're doing the big celebration for them in January. So
awesome.
Yeah. So it's been
great.
Good.
Before we go on, I do feel the need to point out that I'm on a digital background this week. I was doing my real fireplace the last 2 weeks, but my back has been hurting this week, and I didn't want to sit on the floor, which I've been doing before. And I'm wearing the hat because the last 2 weeks I was wearing this pattern, but the wall that I'm sitting on is yellow, and if I take the hat off, it's a little too close to my skin color, so.
It's super creepy, yeah.
I cannot concentrate.
Nope. Just the floating eyes are weird. I can't.
You're like Harry Potter. Who came up in the flames in Harry Potter? Didn't someone come up to speak in the flames of Harry Potter? I thought. I can't remember.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. One question I wanted to ask Becky, because I know that they just announced Sweet Tomatoes is closing permanently. And it got me to thinking about buffets in the future, because I'm sure a lot of the business you do is buffet. Have you guys talked at all or thought at all about what the future of catering is going to be like with buffet type service? And
yes, so I think I work, Brittany, I've worked with you a lot, and kind of our standard of service. We're very sanitary to begin with. We, as an off-premise caterer, we know what we have to bring to different venues, different areas, and we're always very well prepared. We always say we'd rather bring the kitchen sink and not have to use it than not have it and need it. So we've been talking a lot about, different ways of how to handle service in general. Even if you think about it, passing an hors d'oeuvre tray to a guest, coming in very close proximity. So in the intermittent future, I do see a lot of buffet style events possibly changing to either a plated or a family style service, and us having to just adhere to different ways and different things. Yes, we've been talking about it, but fortunately the way we do our service, there's really no guest contact with any of our service wares. We're there, we have different ways of, doing service. So since we're usually pretty well staffed and serving the individuals on a buffet and, plated or family style, it might just be a matter of, changing a few things here or there. But, we're trying to accommodate all of our guests in an individual basis and what they also feel comfortable with, because I think that there's a little bit of division right now with how everybody does feel comfortable going out versus not. So I see a lot of things changing. So we're just trying to be at the utmost understanding and treating all of our clients on an individual basis. So if it's their dream to have a buffet style of service, then we will have to sit down and implement just probably different protocol than what we've been doing to make sure that everybody is safe. You know, our hope is that come when our big, large events are happening in the fall, that a lot of this will be lifted, all of these protocols, and we can just keep implementing our, you know, 5-star service and, you know, the way we normally do things, because, you know, that's just part of us and what we believe in, and keeping all of the guests happy, fully served, etc. So,
and I think
yeah,
it's
it's gonna be
back
different.
on that with the sweet tomatoes thing. Like, you think you go to a buffet in a restaurant somewhere and every guest is touching the same handle, and there's a lot of like cross-contamination things happening, which kind of makes sense to why they would be closed down, especially during this time. And I know that that's kind of a loss for the community, right? Because there's some sweet tomatoes lovers out there. But like what Becky was saying, they already implement so many good sanitary processes through it, where they staff the members at a buffet. And granted, it's open food, and again, that might have to change on a case-by-case basis, like what she's saying. But if they're already staffed, they have staff members that are holding things and serving it for you. Therefore, there's not that like automatic cross-contamination from the get-go, which is kind of a helpful thing. So that might be, you know, diving into that even more might be one of those new things where people want to continue to have that option that they can.
Yeah. And we're even trying to reevaluate, you know, different styles of service. You know, is there something in addition to family style, stations, buffet, plated, you know? So we're always, again, we're right now doing a lot of research and development, seeing what's out there, following trends, even in countries right now that are open or doing large events. What are they doing? What can we take from them? What are things that maybe we're not okay with? And I think we're going to find in the future that, which we've been taking care of for years, obviously, is I think you're going to see a lot of more you know, standards in health and sanitary protocols coming around, with hand sanitizing stations everywhere, proper hand washing. I know, Jordan, in the last, if it wasn't the last, it was the first Fireside Chat, you know, Ringling is a huge venue that we work at a lot, and we always have to bring our own hand washing stations, which we do have as an off-premise caterer. So I see that venues, caterers, planners, everybody is going to start bringing, you know, in their kind of handy dandy backpack for wedding planners. Brittany, you're probably going to have to start bringing maybe a mask, maybe extra hand sanitizer, you know, things like that. I mean, we always have gloves and gloves. So I think you're going to see just a higher level for a while of that extra protocol. Yeah.
Brittany, is there, oh, sorry, Grace.
No, that's okay. One of my couples, one of the weddings, I mentioned that they wanted to have their wedding on their actual day with just their parents, and then we're doing the bigger celebration in the fall. We all had masks on when I got there. The wedding was held outdoors, and but the parents, it's so funny, just before we did the rings, I had my little hand sanitizer bottle, and they took the rings from one person. I squirted hand sanitizer on everybody's hands, and we were all, I mean, it was funny because this is, you know, I mean, it was a serious event, but we had to take into account, you know, the circumstances around us. So we were sort of having, and they filmed it also. So they're going to have side-by-side videos of what it was like during this pandemic and what it'll be like, hopefully, when it'll be the wedding they planned with their guests and without all these precautions in place. But we kind of, you know, we had to really make it something special, but also kind of a nod to what was happening around us, you know, because their families were zoomed in, actually, their siblings were zoomed in. So it was nice, and it was a little bit of levity during a time where there's not a lot.
Where's the actual ceremony happening next year?
Well, the first ceremony, that's the Westin rooftop. The ceremony that was postponed and will be rescheduled in November is taking place at Lakewood Ranch Golf and Country Club.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah. So 2 beautiful venues they've had a chance to celebrate.
Yeah. Brittany, is there anything that you're thinking about towards the future other than what Becky touched on that you're going to be implementing, or changes to weddings, how they're going to be done? Anything that you think is going to be a real lasting effect from this situation?
Yeah, I mean, I really think that it's going to be vastly dependent on what happens over the next couple of months. And again, with all the postponements, my season was kind of wrapped up. We've got everybody for the remainder of my spring season transferred over so that I don't have to start technically again until August now. Which gives us enough time to kind of play and see. I think that it's going to be a case-by-case scenario and what people are comfortable with. Like Becky mentioned, everyone is handling this extremely differently. And I think we as wedding professionals are having to pivot with that and make sure that we handle it according to what the client's wishes are. And that's just going to help our businesses that much more by being acceptable of what their wishes are. There's already things in place, like catering wise, maybe we do a 4 or 5 course dinner and have everything served so that way people are in seats. We put less people at a table, things of that nature, obviously making sure things are coming in. If there's rentals, like all of the linen companies, I know that they wash and sanitize all their linens when they're sent in, so that's helpful. Maybe it's making sure that the chairs are wiped down and putting in those extra sanitary precautions ahead of time just to make sure that we're doing our due diligence as wedding professionals. So all of those things are things that I've already contemplated and implementing as needed, depending on what the circumstances look like when we get there.
Has anyone had any of your clients looking to just do a smaller event because of this? In the future even?
Yeah, actually, so I teamed up with a local photographer as well so that we could start implementing doing, elopements and micro weddings. So I've established a specialty package for those, which does either include just the ceremony, and Grace is included in that, as well as the officiant. And then also if they wanted to upgrade and just do a very small, intimate, like 10 to 15 person dinner, Becky's been kind enough to help us with that, with packaging as well. We have a couple of venues that we've been doing that. So I have gotten a few inquiries for that, because I think that people are just fearful at the moment, and they have every right to be. It's been a crazy time, and again, everyone's handling it differently. So I think that moving forward, those, oversized elopement or micro wedding is going to be a bigger thing as time goes on until this kind of starts to subside a little bit more.
I have to agree with you, Brittany. We do have a few clients, corporate and bridal as well, that are doing that kind of small elopement. And sometimes we as a caterer are involved, sometimes we're not. But again, they're looking to, like Grace said, get married on their date and then just do the party maybe in a year or so. So they kind of get to have they're very excited about it. And I've just seen, just because my husband's in hospitality as well, he's a restaurant manager, and with things opening now, the whole aura of here in Southwest Florida is everybody is very understanding. Everybody is not getting upset and stir crazy if there's something not available, or we have to maybe change a few things or tweak a few things just to make sure that everybody's safe. Everybody seems to be extremely, extremely understanding. So from a vendor point of view, it's great because, Brittany and Grace, Jordan, you too, we sometimes deal with very, either stressed out clients or, very, clients that want a certain thing. And if you cannot provide, they will move on to somebody else. And I'm finding that not to be as much. So I'll have clients calling me saying, hey, you know what, we're just going to do our ceremony with our intimate family in our backyard and order takeout, and then we're rebooking and doing our 350 people in January. And if we have to rebook it again, we will. So that very understanding aura from everybody, it's really welcoming. It makes me excited to get back to work and to be doing the thing that I love the best, which is obviously, serving people in the wedding and event industry. And I think everybody here can attest to that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. All right. Well, does anyone have any final thoughts? Anything you want your fellow vendors to know, or?
Hang in there, guys.
Yeah,
we're gonna get through this.
It's gonna get better.
Yeah.
We will be back. Yes. Yes. There will be weddings. Everyone will be celebrating again, and we just have to make our way through it as best we can and just keep positive and know that we'll all be together soon as vendors, as with our couples, and it'll be great again. It'll just take a bit. Be patient.
All right, great. All right, well, thank you all so much for doing this, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jordan.
Oh my gosh, every time you leave, it cuts off your face.
Are we off?
Can I take off this shirt?
Shut up. Do you have something on underneath it?
No, but like I would change. Like I'm dying with every light on. The fireplace is making me sweat just looking at it.
Fake. It's on your freaking.
I know, but it's like looking at somebody in a sweatsuit on an 80-degree day. It just makes me sweat. Like looking at them. Like Jordan's making me sweat. He's got a snow hat on.
Yeah, but he doesn't have hair, so it kind of makes up for that.
Becky, without my glasses on, I really couldn't see a thing during this whole.
Grace, you looked beautiful.
No, not me. Not me. I'm thinking, is that a TV behind you? Because I can't really tell. Everything's so tiny and blurry to me. I'm going to put my glasses on now. So
I'm in my bedroom because I have the dogs, and then I have Ella doing homework and my mom coming in and out. So this is really the only place that's quiet.
Yeah.
Does your mom live with you?
We could have talked about hashtag life right now outside of the wedding industry. Like the job isn't as hard right now as it is with everything else happening.
Oh, well, you people with, you have schooling and all that other stuff to do. I couldn't even. Jimmy and I are basically staying up till 5 a.m. and getting up at 11 or 12. I mean, that's my schedule these past couple months.
It was one step for mankind that my husband went back to work this week, which was
good.
And now my mom is not afraid to leave the house, so she went to CVS right now. So
moving on up in the world.
I hear ruffling in the refrigerator, which could only be one of three. It's either one of the dogs or my daughter. So it's probably Ella rummaging for something to eat because there's never anything to eat in this house.
Hopefully it's not dogs. But yeah, well, Jordan, I'm just asking you to edit anything crappy out of this, and my whole thing may be crappy, so you're welcome to take it out.
No, I liked this one. This one was a little different than the others. I think we did a great job.
I feel like this is going to be one of those videos that's going to need a blooper reel.
Yeah.
Well, that's the first thing I said when Jordan said, do you want to be on it with Brittany and Becky? I said, I love them. So yeah, I love all four people myself, I don't mean I love myself. Well, I do love you have to love yourself. Come on. But I mean, I love the three of you, and I'm glad if I was going to do this with anybody, it would be with you.
Grace, I love you. Are you like trying to facelift yourself right now? What are you doing?
I'm gonna get rid of the bags under my eyes.
Ew.
Stop. We're not please, we're not recording, right?
No.
Okay.
You guys are the worst liars on the planet.
Jordan.
I'll edit it out, I swear.
He edits everything.
All right,
All
come
this
on.
is Brittany eating cheese and I'm sitting in my bedroom drinking wine. How do you have like your snow gear on?
My what?
Like you have snow gear on.
Well, I have a digital background on, but this is a real hat.
Oh, digital background. I see. You save the hat for the best fire.
Well, the problem is if I take the hat off, then
dear. That's awful.
it's because the wall behind me is yellow, and so.
Oh, stop it!
I know, it's really freaking. Ew! Ew! So creepy. All I see is the teeth and eyes. Even your beard comes in. Ew! It is weird. Ew. So do we need to look at the camera so it looks like we're looking at everybody, or do we need to look at each other?
Oh, she did leave.
Ain't nobody got time.
You actually have nothing but time.
Oh.
Have you seen my life? Get out of here.
I almost forgot how to put mascara on. And my eyebrows. I hope they look all right.
Okay, let me put this somewhere. Hang on a second. I don't even know what my background is. What does it look like? I have no idea.
Right now, we just see your hand.
Mary Poppins is here.
Oh, hang on a second. Oh God. I am so non-tech savvy. This is so embarrassing. So you better edit that out, Jordan.
What happens if we have to go to the bathroom?
So you have to be quiet now. We're in a meeting. Oh, no.
Grace, where are you going?
Oh, I went to get a mirror to make sure my hair was okay. So I forgot to put my earrings on. Oh my God. Do I have time to put my earrings on?
No, I don't have earrings on either, Grace.
All
You're
right.
fine.
Yeah, but I'm old.
you're all
young
hot
and beautiful.
messes. I'm wearing them today.
We're never going to get this done.
It's only 10 minutes of fun. We have 20
We're
minutes.
going to give you the best blooper reel on the planet, though.
It's going to be a lot to edit, though.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Okay, start
And I
over.
have done zero
Hi,
prep
guys.
for this. Okay. And Jordan, I swear to God, if you're recording this, I will come to your house and kill you. So, okay.